After round 7, the verdict is in. You're on afl.com.au. Hello everyone, my name's Matt Thompson and this is our weekly chance to chat with the chairman of the match review panel, Mark Fraser. Mark, thanks for your time again.
Thanks, mate.
Let's start with the issue of sliding. It has been a talking point again, particularly last week with the comments from Adrian Anderson and the memo that's been sent out to clubs to reinforce the current rules. Has that changed anything in terms of the way the MRP is looking at sliding issues?
Well, obviously the tribunal decisions with the two incidents will change our thinking a little bit because the tribunal didn't believe that that was rough conduct. But every case is different, so we've had previous cases this year with people sliding in that have been cited and have gone to tribunal and been found guilty. So we just take every case on its merits and decide whether it's rough conduct or not.
So in terms of the Broughton and Thomas cases, the ones that were highlighted last week by Adrian, it's unlikely that they would be referred, similar incidents like that would be referred in the current climate?
In the current climate, similar incidents probably would not be referred. But yeah, as I said, we judge every case on its merits and I think we have a duty to make sure that we're protecting the players out there, and so if we deem something rough conduct, we'll charge them.
All right, let's take a look at a couple of the sliding incidents as we continue this conversation that have been looked at this week, but no charges laid. First of all, this is Jack Ziebell from North Melbourne. Talk us through your review of this one.
Okay, as you can see, Wallace is on the ground trying to take possession and Ziebell comes in, slides in to try and stop the handball. The umpire paid a free kick because we believe he thought that there was a slide in and that a free kick was warranted, and we think that was the correct decision. From our perspective, after receiving a medical, there wasn't enough force from us to believe that there was a reportable offence. And
Jordy McKenzie is the other one that was looked at for a slide as well. Let's check this one out.
Similar situation here, players sliding in, going for the football, but after the medical we received from Hawthorn, stating no injury, believed that there was not enough force, we thought that a free kick should have been paid for that though.
So you're comfortable with where it's at in terms of the sliding conversation? You think that things have perhaps been cleared up a little bit now?
A little bit cleared up, especially from our perspective and with the tribunal decisions. But if players go in with their knees or feet first, then they're liable to be charged if they go in hard enough, basically.
Yeah. So that warning certainly remains, despite the fact that umpires are keeping a close eye out for the free kicks.
Oh, most definitely.
OK, only one player suspended from the weekend's action as we move on. Adelaide's Taylor Walker is that man. He's been charged with rough conduct. As you can see, it's been graded as negligent, medium impact and high contact. This is a 2-match suspension, and because of his current record, it will remain at 2 matches even with an early plea. Talk us through this.
With this you can see that he lifts a player, so Taylor lifts him up and then drives him into the ground. Head contact is made and Taylor is taken from the field, and based on a video evidence that you can see here in the medical report, we deemed that to be a charge that was worth putting up, and the impact was medium because Taylor did come back on and play.
All right, so Taylor Walker suspended for 2 matches. Let's look at some more cases from the weekend. These are incidents that have been looked at, but no charges laid. Beginning with Essendon's Nathan Lovett-Murray. There was a story on afl.com.au earlier today. He was confident that he wasn't going to get charged. Tell us, Mark, why he hasn't been.
Yeah, we just consider this a normal tackle. The ball's still in play. There was no sling or drive into the ground, and the 2 players fall to the ground, and unfortunately there's a hit on the head from Priddis, but this is accidental, so we don't consider accidental conduct reportable.
It is unusual that you see players coming out, particularly like Nathan Lovett-Murray did today, talking about his charge. That's how confident he was that he wasn't going to get off. Let's talk about Tom Lynch from the Gold Coast. Some contact on Phil Davis.
Yeah, this was reported on the weekend, but with the footage, you see that Lynch sort of goes down and actually puts his hand down trying to gather the football, and we think this is a legitimate attempt to go for the football, and so he didn't have any realistic alternative, so therefore he's not charged. You
also had a look at some contact involving Brisbane's Todd Banfield. This was on Dane Beams of the Magpies.
Yeah, and this is a similar situation. Here, Banfield's going for the football, Beams is standing there, bending down to pick the football, and you see Banfield putting his hand down to touch the football. He just turns his body to protect himself, and we believe that he has no realistic alternative in this situation.
Back to the Giants Gold Coast Suns match, and this was an incident involving Jeremy Cameron and also Charlie Dixon as shepherding. Let's have a look.
Yeah, Cameron's shepherding for his teammate here, and he gets down low and he delivers a bump. Unfortunately, there's a head clash here, and that has resulted in an injury to Dixon. But we believe that this is circumstances outside his control. No player goes into a bump predicting that there's going to be a head clash. So once again, it becomes accidental.
Okay, and so you are very big, aren't you, in terms of protecting the head, but in this case, it is literally an accident, and that's the ruling.
Yeah, so we want to protect the players out there, but accidents do happen, unfortunately, in football.
All right, let's take a look at one last case. This is Joel Corey from Geelong. We've seen a few of these this year, which is surprising, and they still happen. He's been suspended for making an obscene gesture. There was some suggestion over the course of the weekend that this was directed at the umpire, but Mark, you say that doesn't matter. This is just an obscene gesture, and so it's a $1,200 fine down to $900 with an early play.
Yes, unfortunately, giving the one-finger salute earns you a charge from us, so that becomes a fine, and $900 with an early plea, you just can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know why players keep on doing that. It's a pretty straightforward case, isn't it? A $900 fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark, thank you very much for your time, as always. Much appreciated.
No problems.
Mark Fraser joining us, the chairman of the match review panel. And that is the verdict here on afl.com.au. Of course, with Monday night football, the St Kilda Carlton game to be looked at separately. Taylor Walker and Joel Corey have until 11 o'clock Tuesday morning to decide if they'd like to challenge their charges at the tribunal. You'll find a full report on all the incidents here online. For now, it's goodbye.